Hello and welcome to My Favorite Game Showcase. In this installment, the game is Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo. Super Mario Kart was released in 1992 by Nintendo EAD and published by Nintendo, of course. This is one of the prolific games for the Super Nintendo. This is a game that every Super Nintendo owner should have. And it's weird because even though I had a Super Nintendo growing up and all that, I never actually owned this game. Yeah, that's right. I had F-Zero and I had racing games, for the Sega Genesis and such, but I never owned Super Mario Kart. And so I recently went to rectify that and realized that, unfortunately, the fact that despite the game is incredibly common, it's actually one of those games that carries a premium, I guess, because it's a Nintendo Mario game. Used copies of Super Mario Kart, just Kart only, usually run between $25 to $35. I picked up this copy with this, ripped label for about $19, so, I got a bit of a deal on it, but even though it's the player's choice version and that's not really the version I want, yeah, I own the game now, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. This was the first Nintendo kart racer they ever produced, and this was the one that kicked off the series. This is the original Super Mario Kart with the original 8 cast of characters that all play very differently from each other. If you've never played a Mario Kart game, they work as basic racing games with a twist. You have this weapon roulette power-up thing that allows you to get all kinds of beneficial things, such as these rockets that you can fire at other opponents, or boosts, or the ability to jump and all that stuff. So let's play some of this for a few minutes. So here we go. Super Mario Kart. Here we go. Super Mario Kart made extensive use of the Super Nintendo's ability called Mode 7, which was a sprite scaling layer effect to create a pseudo 3D environment. Because although the Super Nintendo was a powerful system for its time, it was not capable of any actual 3D graphics. This was all done through trickery. So let's play under 50cc's and do that. So there's 8 playable characters here: Mario, Princess, Bowser, Koopa, Luigi, Yoshi, this is Donkey Kong Jr. and Toad. Of them, the player that I prefer the most is actually Princess Toadstool in the original version of Super Mario Kart. That's because she is the easiest to handle, and as a lightweight kart, it doesn't really matter if she stays on the course or not. It's the easiest to use, and she tends to be my favorite character for this game. Alright, so there's 3 cups. Let's start off with the Mushroom Cup. So what you see here is the game's Mode 7 mode, which makes the game appear 3D. Super Mario Kart also had a DSP-1 chip installed into it that allowed the game to do some more advanced calculations and allow the game to avoid slowdown. In the original Mario Kart, you run over these coins here, and the more coins you collect, the faster your kart can move. It increases your maximum speed. If you get hit by an enemy shell, you actually lose coins, such as what just happened there. Of course, there's power-ups to regain some coins back. Coins are usually put on out of reach or more difficult parts of the course. Once coins are collected, they can't be recollected. The game, even in single player, is always split screen, and that's really just a design choice that Nintendo chose to do, when they originally planned to make this game a multiplayer. Because compared to F-Zero, the launch title racing game, did not have any multiplayer whatsoever. But Super Mario Kart has that really built from the ground up. So when you're playing multiplayer, there's a split screen just by default. Most most of the courses from Super Mario Kart have actually appeared in other Mario Kart games since, such as Mario Kart Super Circuit, Mario Kart DS, and so on. Even so, there's a charm about the original game that just is missing from the future installments of this series. No Mario Kart is a bad Mario Kart, but this one just has something special about it. The only one that comes close is Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance, because that game also uses pseudo 3D effects because it's 32-bit GBA system, and also it reintroduces the coins which had been missing from Mario Kart 64 and subsequent Mario Kart games. Even after all these years, I still think this game looks beautiful. Easily one of the best looking Super Nintendo games I can think of. And that's because its art assets work towards the benefit of the game. Everything that's in this game is just perfectly done. Controls great, the characters are all distinctive from each other, so you're not all just playing as like a generic card or something. And unlike F-Zero, duplicate filler cars do not populate the racetrack. So that's basically all I wanted to say about this game. It's available for the Wii Virtual Console, and you can find it in other means too. And there's other Mario Kart games that have these stages. But all that said, I think if you have a Super Nintendo or a clone system, this is a game that you should own, even though it carries a sort of premium these days. Super Mario Kart is just so good. It's a timeless classic that I think any owner of the system should have. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.